Okay, so let's start now and let's go for our next topic. So in engineering mechanics, I'm going to discuss with you today the topic of center of gravity, center of mass, centroid, and moment of inertia. So these are very, very small topics. They can be covered in strength of material also, and I can cover that in engineering mechanics also. Because we are going to talk about circular motion, so I'm going to cover this topic in engineering mechanics only. Now let me tell you the kind of questions which are asked in public sector exams like HPCL, and the kind of question which are asked in GATE are entirely different, as I told you. So if you think your preparation of GATE is good and you can crack public sector also, that is wrong. Why? Because public sector exams are 1 minute, one question. Sometimes there is no negative marking also, like Airport Authority of India. So you can expect it is a data oriented. Questions are based upon only your basically knowledge. If you remember that, you remember that. What is the moment of inertia? Where is the centroid of quadrant of a circle? That is a data. There is no concept involved. You do not get questions in GATE based upon data. You get questions, similar questions in public sector. So let me start this topic, and this topic then we will do some real questions which actually can be expected in HPCL kind of exams, and let's go for that. So I'm going to discuss first is what is the center of gravity. Center of gravity, it is also called center of mass and centroid. So that is my first basically topic. I'm going to discuss about that. In fact, if I can write center of mass, which is also called center of gravity, and if I can talk about centroid, then we need to understand these two are different things. Center of mass and center of gravity is the same thing, and centroid is the another thing. So this basically center of mass is for 3D real bodies. This is something which is for real bodies. This is for two-dimensional or something like plane. Let me ask you, for me, what is relevant? Center of mass, center of gravity और centroid? मेरा क्या निकालोगे तुम? Center of mass निकालोगे या centroid निकालोगे? I'm a three-dimensional body, right? I have a mass. तो mass जिस चीज का है उसका तुम center of mass निकालोगे. जिसका mass है उसी का तो center of mass निकालोगे. अब इस बोर्ड की अगर मैं बात करूं, तुम एक रेक्टेंगल सी चीज नजर आ रही है, यहाँ पे रेक्टेंगुलर थिंग नजर आ रही है. सो फॉर दिस बोर्ड विच इज ए रेक्टेंगुलर शेप्ड बॉडी, उसका क्या निकालोगे? सेंटर ऑफ मास. If I give you a rectangle, have you ever calculated the mass of a rectangle or triangle or a circle? If I ask you a question, what is the mass of the circle? What is your answer? You will say, sir, mass तो कभी निकाला ही नहीं है सर्कल का. तो अगर मास नहीं निकाला भाई, तो उसका मास होता ही नहीं है, वो टू डायमेंशनल बॉडी है. सो जितनी भी ज्योमेट्रीज हैं, टू डायमेंशनल बॉडीज हैं विच आर कॉल्ड प्लेन, उनका सेंट्रॉयड निकलता है, उनका सेंटर ऑफ मास नहीं निकलता. सो जितनी भी ज्योमेट्रिकल शेप्ड बॉडीज हैं, ज्योमेट्रिक शेप्ड बॉडीज, जितनी भी प्लेन बॉडीज हैं, जितनी टू डायमेंशनल बॉडीज हैं, उनका सेंट्रॉयड निकालते हो. सो सेंटर ऑफ मास मींस मास शुड बी देयर. पहले उसका मास होना चाहिए. मास शुड बी देयर टू कैलकुलेट सेंटर ऑफ मास. अच्छा, इनका मास तो नहीं होता, लेकिन क्या होता है? एरिया शुड बी देयर. एरिया शुड बी देयर. यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? तो अब ऐसी कौन सी चीज है भाई जिसका एरिया है? ट्रायंगल का होता है, रेक्टेंगल होता है, सर्कल होता है. डू यू हैव एरिया? यस, वी हैव एरिया. अच्छा, कैन यू गिव मी एग्जांपल ऑफ समथिंग जिसका एरिया भी नहीं होता? यू डोंट हैव एरिया ऑल्सो. लाइन, लाइन का क्या होता है? ओनली लेंथ. अच्छा, कैन यू गिव मी समथिंग जिसका लेंथ भी नहीं होता? यस सर, डॉट. So if I give you a dot, I ask you calculate its length, you will say, sir, no length. If I say calculate length of this area, you'll say no area. So first dot, then line, then a area, then a mass. This is how it flows. Center of mass is for the real bodies which have now three-dimensional entity, and you can calculate the basically mass for that. So when we talk about mass, there is something which is volume. So whenever you are confused whether I want to calculate center of mass of something or centroid for something, ask yourself, can you calculate volume? Can you calculate volume of circle? No. Can you calculate volume of sphere? Yes. So if there is a volume, If there is a gravity, density, then there is a mass also. And if there is a mass, you can calculate center of mass also. Majority students keep on getting confused between center of mass, center of gravity, centroid. It's a very, very simple thing. Very, very simple thing. You need to understand this particular thing. Now, center of mass का example क्या है? Center of mass का example क्या है? Suppose I give you now a solid cylinder. If I give you a solid cylinder, does it have now the mass? Yes, sir. Solid cylinder has a mass. And can you calculate its centroid also? Yes, center of mass also. Yes, I can calculate its center of mass also. Okay, I give you a circle. Now I give you a circle. If I give you a circle, then circle has a center and hence centroid also. So you can calculate area of the circle, you can calculate its centroid also, you can calculate the mass of cylinder and hence you can calculate centroid also. Normally we will be representing both these things as G. We will be representing both things as G, center of mass or centroid. Now, if I want to now write the centroid for something, and as I told you, what is centroid? I told you centroid is calculated for geometries, two-dimensional bodies or two-dimensional bodies जिनका आपके पास you know the area and all. And let me give you certain shapes here. Certain shapes जिनका आपको centroid पता होना चाहिए, जिनका आपको centroid पता होना चाहिए. These are the shape I am giving you. I am giving you the shapes of certain such bodies. You know, this is what I'm going to give you. Let me give you these bodies. Okay, jinka centroid is something which we need to know. Okay, so let me give you this particular thing now. I think for the exam, this is what is required. So I'm giving you a rectangle of size AB. Can you tell me where is this G? Yes, this is A by 2 and this is B by 2. Everybody knows. So for a rectangle, where is the centroid? Everybody knows. Now next I give you triangle. Now you know in a triangle, where is the centroid? How do we find where is the centroid? In mathematics, there is a way to calculate that. You draw something which is called median. You know what is median? Median is the line which is drawn from the apex to the half of the opposite side. So when I draw a dotted line which meets the half of this side, that is called median. All these three medians will hit a point which is called centroid. So this is basically the centroid. Now let us say the height. Now height and the basically side of a triangle are different thing. Now suppose I give you a height of a triangle which is h. Then this centroid from apex is 2 by 3h. And from the base, this is called base, is h by 3. So in case of a triangle, you need to think of where is the basically vertex of the triangle, what is the base of the triangle, and from the vertex to base, you need to find out what is the height. Do not misunderstand height with the side. Height is a different thing. That is a perpendicular distance from apex to the base, that is called height. And if h is given to us, 2/3 from the apex and this h by 3 from the base. That is how we calculate it. Now what is this? This is a semicircle. This is the semicircle with what? With the radius r. Now I tell you the centroid or center of area will be somewhere on the line of symmetry. This is the line of symmetry. Can I say that? Line of symmetry. What is the line of symmetry, sir? Line of symmetry is something which divides the entire shape into two halves. Which divides entire shape into two halves. Okay, now let me ask you, if this entire is y, this entire is y, Then this is y by 2. Tell me which side will be centroid, towards base or towards top position. Listen my question carefully. If this is y and this is y by 2, in case of rectangle, I understand this will be y by 2. But more area is towards the base. More area is towards the base. Hence, this length will be, this side of length will be more and this length will be less. So suppose this is a centroid. Suppose this is centroid. I write it as G. This height is y1 and let us say this is y2. y1, y2. Let us say y1 and y2. y1 plus y2 is radius. y1 plus y2 is radius. So all you need to know is that y1 is more than y2. Why? Because more area is towards the base and hence centroid will shift towards the base. That is what you should know. But how far is that from the base? Is 4r by 3 pi. So what is this y2? This y2 is a 4r over 3 pi. That is this distance. This distance is 4r over 3 pi. Always remember this. 4r by 3 pi is the answer for that. Okay. Now suppose I give you quadrant of a circle. Now this is what? This is radius r. This is radius r. And this is quadrant of a circle. Quadrant of a circle. Quadrant of a circle. Can you tell me now what is the line of symmetry here in the quadrant of a circle? Can you find out the line of symmetry for me? Yes, sir. I can very easily find the line of symmetry for you. So this is the line of symmetry for me. What is the meaning of that? That means, sir, this half and this half are equal. That is the line of symmetry. Both the halves are equal. Now one thing is clear. One thing is pretty clear. That the centroid will be somewhere. Centroid will be somewhere on this line only. Somewhere on this line only. Use your mind and tell me. Suppose this is the radius and this is the half of this. From this point, the centroid will be on this line. So centroid will be on this line only. From this point, centroid will be more than 0.5 r or less than 0.5 r. I give you this question. From this particular point, this distance from center of this particular quadrant of circle, at what distance does it lie? More than 0.5 r or less than 0.5 r. So this is the centroid. And you know how much is this distance now? Centroid se yahan tak, this distance is 0.6 r. This is 0.6 r. So that is the value of centroid. Now again the same concept. More area is distributed this side. From the diagram also it is clear. More area is distributed this side than this side. It is like this. If I divide this side of area, you know, more area, less area, and center of area is like this. 0.5 r se is taraf area is more. But this is 0.4 r, this is 0.6 r. So area in 0.6 r and area in 0.4 r is the same. So this side is 0.4 r and this side is 0.6 r. Always remember quadrant. Now these kind of questions, you know, I will never discuss in the GATE exam with you. Why? Because वहां पे ये क्वेश्चन नहीं आते, लेकिन कॉमन सेंस जरूर रखना है. कॉमन सेंस इज देयर इन गेट एग्जाम ऑल्सो, कॉमन सेंस इज देयर इन योर दिस पर्टिकुलर HPCL एग्जाम ऑल्सो. दैट इज समथिंग विच इज कॉमन. You need to understand. So quadrant ka centroid is to be calculated like this. Now this comes is a trapezium. Trapezium A, B and H. So let me tell, this is, I think, B. This side is A. Let me see what I've written. No, I have written this as B, this side as A, and this is the height H, and I'm giving you what? Trapezium. So I'm giving you trapezium of parallel sides AB and height as H. And can you find out the symmetry line for me? Yes, sir, I can tell you the symmetry line. And let us say this is G and this height, this particular thing is Y. So what is Y? Where will be centroid now? Remember this formula. No analysis, no much thinking, just memory. H by 3. Though it is also derived, H by 3. H is the height. 2A plus 3. 2A plus 3 divided by A plus B. A plus B. So that gives me द पोजीशन ऑफ सेंट्रॉयड। सेंट्रॉयड किसके लिए निकालते हैं? 2D या प्लेन्स के लिए निकालते हैं, 2D के लिए या प्लेन्स के लिए निकालते हैं। और हमने किस किस का निकाला? हमने रेक्टेंगुलर शेप का निकाला, हमने ट्रायंगल का निकाला, हम लोगों ने सेमी सर्कल का निकाला, क्वाड्रेंट का निकाला, 1/4 ऑफ अ सर्कल, ट्रेपेजियम का निकाला। In my opinion, that is more than sufficient for us to know. That is something which we have to understand, right? This is how it is to be calculated. Center of mass वो आपसे नहीं पूछेगा, centroid ही पूछेगा, triangle, rectangle की बात करेगा। अब चलते हैं आगे की तरफ. Let's go for now. What is movement of inertia? What is movement of inertia? You know, movement of inertia is something which is similar to mass. Movement of inertia is something which is similar to mass. If you talk about second law, let me tell you something about mass and movement of inertia. First, let me clarify this thing to you. Basically, this is the inertia of rotating bodies. Somebody asks you, what is movement of inertia? You say, sir, it is inertia of the rotating bodies. Abhi kya hai? Mass. Mass is a measurement of inertia of moving bodies, and this is inertia of rotating bodies, moving bodies and rotating bodies. भाई कैसे पता लगता है? Let's go to Newton's second law. न्यूटन का second law. Let's go to Newton's second law. What is that Newton's second law? Sir, F net is equal to dp by dt. P क्या है? Linear movement. mv mass into velocity. Solids के लिए मैं इसको ऐसा लिख सकता हूं. So this is this, and this is nothing but inertia force. This is inertia force. Now see carefully here. If the body has more mass, I need to apply more external force or net force to accelerate the body. If the body has more mass, then more force is required to change its inertia. And inertia is of three types: inertia of motion, inertia of rest, inertia of direction. So if the body has more mass, it has more inertia. So that means mass is directly calculating its inertia. एक बहुत बड़ा पत्थर पड़ा हुआ है, big stone is there and it is at rest. So you need to apply more force to break its inertia of rest. You need to move it. Similarly, if there is a body which is moving, like a goods train, you know, मालगाड़ी जिसको बोलते हैं goods train, if it is moving because of its high mass, you need to apply more force to stop it. And you know what? You need to apply strong brakes to stop it. So because of its high mass, its inertia is more. Even to move it or to stop it, you need to apply more force. Now come this side. So mass is the measurement of inertia, that is clear. Now what is movement of inertia? Same thing which you did for moving bodies in the linear motion, you do it for moving body in rotational motion. Now let us say there is a door. Let us say this is the door. And I am to open this door. Let us say this is the door, I am to open it. Let me make the kind of diagram. And I am to rotate this door about this hinge line. Let us say this is the hinge line. अब इसी एनालिसिस को कर लेते हैं. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Torque is equal to movement of inertia into angular acceleration. ये हो गया torque, ये हो गया angular acceleration. अभी मैंने आपको rotational motion नहीं करवाया. We will discuss that in rotational motion. So F is equal to ma. So sir, if more mass, more force required to move the body. Okay, let's come to rotational motion. Sir, more movement of inertia, more torque needed to rotate the body. Now if I want to rotate this door about this axis of rotation, hinges, axis of rotation. So if the moment of inertia of this door is more, I need to apply more torque to rotate it about its axis of rotation. So what is moment of inertia? Sir, moment of inertia is the inertia of rotating bodies. What role mass plays for linear motion? Moment of inertia plays for rotational motion. And now you know what? The beauty is moment of inertia is also of two types. By moment of inertia is also mass moment of inertia, and this is also area moment of inertia. Mass moment of inertia, and it is also area moment of inertia. एरिया मूवमेंट मास किसके लिए निकालते हैं सर? मास तो निकालते हैं 3D बॉडीज के लिए, रियल बॉडीज के लिए जिनका मास होता है, और एरिया किसका निकालते हैं? 2D बॉडीज का निकालते हैं, शेप्स का निकालते हैं जिनका शेप्स होती है समथिंग लाइक ट्रायंगल, समथिंग लाइक सर्कल, समथिंग लाइक योर रेक्टेंगल, उनका हम एरिया निकालते हैं. सो मास मूवमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर रियल बॉडीज and area moment of inertia is required for two-dimensional bodies. Okay, now for three-dimensional bodies, whenever you have to find out kinetic energy, you have to find out the kinetic energy or energy or something like that. It is a real body, you know, because how do you calculate mass of kinetic energy? Sir, mass should be there to calculate kinetic energy. Mass is there. I mean, what is the formula of kinetic energy? Kinetic energy का formula is half of m into v square, right? Mass किसका होगा? जो real body है. Do you calculate mass of rectangle? No, sir, we don't calculate mass of rectangle. So mass is calculated for three-dimensional bodies or the real bodies, and hence kinetic energy is calculated for that. Can you tell me what is the rotational kinetic energy? Yes, sir, rotational kinetic energy. What is the analogy of the mass? It is a moment of inertia. What is the analogy of the velocity? Angular velocity. So whenever you are to calculate rotational kinetic energy, which moment of inertia you have to use? Sir, we have to use the mass moment of inertia. एनालॉजी कहां से निकाला? एनालॉजी यहां से निकाला. So translational kinetic energy is this, rotational kinetic energy is this, and in the rolling motion you add both and you get total kinetic energy. Now where shall you use area moment of inertia? Where will you use area moment of inertia? Let's go to strength of material subject. Let's go to strength of material subject. Support A, support B, and this is what? This is the cross section of the beam. What I have made? Sir, you have made, it looks like you have made the beam. You know, and in the beam, I am subjected this beam to the loading. This is called load. And whenever there is a load, what is going to happen? Sir, wherever there is a load, there is going to be deflection. The body is going to deflect. There is going to be deflection, something like this. This is the deflection. And whenever there is a deflection, there is something which is called neutral axis. There is something which is called neutral axis. This is rectangle. This is rectangular section. Whenever I talk about rectangle, triangle, etc., what do you calculate? You calculate area moment of inertia. So, sir, I want to calculate area moment of inertia of this section, which is called transverse section in the bending of the beam. So, it's going to ask you sometime the question, when do you calculate mass moment of inertia and when do you calculate area moment of inertia? This is how you are to answer. Okay, sir, जब section की बात करें, this is what? This is the section. And what is a section? Sir, section can be triangular, it can be rectangular, it can be circular. So whenever you talk about the section, you calculate area moment of inertia. And let me tell you now the definition of that. Moment of inertia is second moment of area or mass. What is the second moment of area or mass? Let's go to next slide. Next slide. So next slide is how to calculate moment of inertia. How to calculate moment of inertia? You know, to calculate moment of inertia, the first thing is you should know that about which axis the body is going to rotate. That is very important. If I ask you, calculate the moment of inertia of this pen, you are going to ask me, sir, tell about which axis is this pen going to rotate. Okay, I am telling you it is going to rotate about its own symmetric axis. Can you see this? Can you see this? About its own axis. This pen can rotate like this also. Agree? This pen can rotate about its center also, something like this, something like this. So there are so many axes, right? So you need to find out axis of rotation. That is the most important thing. Axis of rotation. Sir, मेरे को बताओ axis of rotation क्या है? So when you say axis of rotation, there can be so many moment of inertia. There can be so many moment of inertia. A body can have many moment of inertia. Sir, why are you teaching us these things? They will never be asked in exams like GATE, but in exams like HPCL, which of the following is true, not true. So from there, which of the following is not true about moment of inertia? A body can have many moment of inertia. Good. A body, moment of inertia of the body is the basically inertia when it is rotating. That is also true. Now there is a term called radius of gyration. There is a term called radius of gyration. Body has single radius of gyration. The radius of gyration of the body is single. So there is a single radius of gyration. There can be many moment of inertia. There can be many axes of rotation, but there is a single radius of gyration when moment of inertia of the body is given. So let me not confuse it as of now. I'll explain radius of gyration, because if there are many moment of inertia, if I calculate about this different axis, there can be many radius of gyration also, but radius of gyration is single if moment of inertia is given. I'll explain that later on. Forget about as of now. Now let me tell you there is a body. Let me tell you there is a body, and this is the axis of rotation. This is the y-axis and this is y-axis. Moment of inertia of the body when it is going to rotate about y-axis, moment of inertia of the body when it is going to rotate about x-axis. Now let us take this entire body is divided into numerous masses m1, then let us say m2, this is m2, then let us say m3. What I am doing, I am dividing this entire body of mass A and in two-dimensional area A. Now think what is capital M. Capital M is the total mass of the body. Capital M is the total mass of the body. Total mass. And when I say total mass of body, this is made up of summation of all the masses. M1, M2, M3, etc. Similarly, A is total area. Total area of the body, and this is the summation of small areas A1, A2, A3. Okay, so I divided this entire body into numerous masses. Now let us say M1 is having x1, y1 as coordinate. This is x1, this is y1, this is y2, this is x2, this is x3, this is y3. So there are so many coordinates, right? M1, M2, M3, entire body divided. Now when you are to calculate moment of inertia of the body about x-axis, when you are to calculate moment of inertia of the body about x-axis, you need to take elemental mass and how far is that mass from the axis of rotation. How far is that mass from axis of rotation? That is y1. Okay, so let's call it y. First moment of mass is m into y. Moment of force is a torque. Force into distance is moment of force. What is moment of force? Torque. Why? Because force into distance is torque. What is the first moment of mass? Mass into distance. What is the second moment of mass? Mass into distance into distance. So you need to take this mass and this distance from x-axis and square of this. So this, when I take the summation m(i)(y)(i) square, it becomes the moment of inertia of this entire body about x-axis. Can you calculate moment of inertia about y-axis now? What is the moment of inertia of y-axis? Elemental mass, and how far is that mass kept from this axis? So see carefully. Whenever I am to calculate moment of inertia about x-axis, I need to take distance from x-axis, that is in y direction. Whenever I am to calculate moment of inertia about y-axis, I need to take the distance from y-axis, that is in x direction. Now, if I replace mass with area, if I replace mass with area, then that gives me what? That gives me area moment of inertia. Area moment of inertia. So this moment of inertia is called second movement. Second movement of what? Second movement of mass or area. What is the meaning of second movement, sir? Second movement means first movement is mass into distance, second movement is mass into distance again. That is how we calculate what is known as moment of inertia. Now, what is this trouble of radius of gyration? What is this trouble of radius of gyration? Now let me tell you what is the meaning of radius of gyration. Suppose there is a body and M1 kept at R1 and M2 kept at R2 and M3 kept at R3, and I am calculating moment of inertia of this body about this axis. So what is the value? I is equal to M1 R1 square plus M2 R2 square plus so on. I write it as MI RI square, elemental mass. Now let's assume this entire mass, capital M, this was capital M, which is made up of M1 plus M2 plus so on. Now let us assume that this entire mass is kept here as point mass. Let's say entire mass is kept here as point mass. Let us say at distance k from axis of rotation. This is the axis. Now see the difference between this case and that case. In this case, it is a real body distributed mass. This is distributed mass. M1, M2, M3. This is point mass. So their total mass M was distributed. Here it is point mass. And this total mass is kept how far from the axis of rotation? Sir, R1, R2, R3, R4, so many. And this K. What is the moment of inertia of this? Mk square. Which M? Total mass. What is the moment of inertia of this? MI/RI square. Now if Mk square is equal to MI/RI square, this K is called radius of gyration. Sir, totally confused हो गया, कुछ पता नहीं चला. Sir, I could not understand anything what you are teaching since morning. So I am not getting anything. So can you please elaborate now? Yes, I can elaborate. A radius of gyration is that hypothetical distance. Radius of gyration is that imaginary distance at which if I put entire mass as a point mass, at which if I put entire mass as a point mass, actually entire mass is not a point mass, it is a distributed mass. But let us say I put entire mass at a distance k from axis of rotation and calculate moment of inertia such that the moment of inertia this as a point mass and the actual moment of inertia is same. So where should I put entire mass? That hypothetical distance is called radius of gyration. It's okay, sir, but why do we use it? Suppose in the question radius of gyration is given to you. Suppose in the question radius of gyration is given to you. You need not to ask about which axis it is to be calculated. About which axis you have to calculate moment of inertia. Suppose you say radius of gyration of the body is this much meter. Then don't ask about which axis. And he says radius of gyration of the body is this much meter and the mass of the body is this much. Calculate moment of inertia. Simply do one thing, mk square. And m can be replaced by area also, right? Area moment of inertia mein m can be replaced by area also. So sir, what is the benefit of radius of gyration? Benefit of radius of gyration is if it is given, it helps you to calculate I moment of inertia. Suppose he says the mass of body is this body, there is a body, calculate moment of inertia. Then you will say, sir, about which axis? About which axis? But the moment you say, okay, radius of gyration is this much, calculate moment of inertia. Then don't do anything. Just multiply m with k square, you get radius of gyration. So this is what the concept of radius of gyration is there. Now, moment of inertia, let me give you the formulas for area and mass moment of inertia. In the exam, you are to remember these formulas. Let me give you this formula. So sir, if this is B, this is D, rectangle, centroid, what is the moment of inertia of this? BDQ by 12. Remember this. B D cube. So this D is divided, right? Okay, sir. Triangle. Please tell me about the triangle. This is the centroid. This is the base. So sir, give me about 2 axes. Can you tell me what is the moment of inertia of this rectangle with height h and base B and base B? So about centroidal axis is BH cube by 36 and about base is BH cube by 12. Good. Sir, can you tell me about the circle? Yes, circle of diameter D, pi d raised to power 4 by 64. So I have given you about rectangle, I have given you about now circle, and I have given you about the triangle. You do not need more than this. I think this is more than sufficient. And what about mass moment of inertia? Okay, good. So let me give you, this is the solid cylinder or solid cylinder. Solid cylinder can be compared with a disk and mr square by 2. mr square by 2. What is r? Radius. What is m? Mass. About which axis I'm calculating? Axis through symmetry. Good. Okay, if I take the hollow cylinder, this is also called ring. If I take hollow cylinder, also called ring, so hollow cylinder or ring it is called. Uska moment of inertia is mr square. R is the radius, outer radius of the ring, or radius of the ring. Ring is very thin, so that is basically mr square. Okay, sir, good. Okay, if I give you a rod has mass and length L. About 2 axes you remember. If there is a rod of length L and mass M, ml square by 3 about its one side, about one end, ml square by 3, and through centroid ml square by 12. Remember this. These are some of the formulas which you need to memorize. So sir, can you give me the moment of inertia of the rod? Yes. If rod is rotating about its end, ml square by 3, and about centroid ml square by 12. Solid sphere and hollow sphere. सर सॉलिड स्फीयर का दे दो एंड होलो स्फीयर का दे दो. m r square 2 by 5 mr square 2 by 3 mr square. One is 2 by 5 mr square and another is 2 by 3 mr square. hollow के लिए 2 by 3 mr square and solid के लिए 2 by 5 mr square through its basically the symmetry. Suppose I give you now annular ring. Now what is the annular ring, sir? What is the difference between the ring and annular ring? See, annular ring is having two radius. Inner radius 2r1 diameter and outer 2r2. So inner radius is r1, outer radius is r2. Annular ring is the ring which has inner radius r1, outer radius r2. And the ring is inner radius, outer radius are same. Entire mass is at the periphery. So इसके लिए m r1 square plus r2 square by 2. Remember this, very very important formula. Now can I get, sir, from this formula ring and solid disk ka formula? Yes. If it is a ring, r1 is equal to r2 because all the mass is at the periphery. R1 is equal to r2, so it is mr square. If it is a disk, inner radius is 0 because mass is distributed, it becomes mr square by 2. So solid disk mr square by 2 and mr square comes from here. All these formulas sufficient. All these formulas sufficient except with axis the theorems of moment of inertia. So you need to remember two theorems. One is called now parallel axis theorem, and another is called perpendicular axis theorem. Perpendicular axis theorem. And I'm telling you again and again, the way you prepare for GATE exam, the way you prepare for engineering services, the way you prepare for HPCL, they are going to be different. These preparations are going to be different. So please maintain that thing in your mind. These preparations are not same. Okay, now What is parallel axis theorem? Sir, if you give me a body and its moment of inertia about centroidal axis, this is the centroidal axis, this is the centroidal axis, and suppose I want to find out its moment of inertia about another axis which is parallel to centroidal axis. So this axis is parallel to this. This is passing through centroid and the perpendicular distance between the two is x, and let us say area is a or mass is m. So this I, moment of inertia about this axis, is moment of inertia about centroidal axis plus mx square or ax square. That is how it is to be done. What is perpendicular axis theorem? Okay, now let me tell you, there are, now let's take this coordinate system x, y, z. Let us say the body is lying in xy plane. The body is lying in xy plane. The body is in xy plane, right? And I know moment of inertia of the body about x-axis and y-axis, and I want to find out moment of inertia of the body about third axis, which is perpendicular to first two axes. So z-axis is perpendicular to x and y, and I want to find the moment of inertia of the body about z-axis. So that is equal to ix plus iy plus iy. This is called perpendicular axis theorem. So body should be in xy plane. That is the most important thing, and the three axes should pass through the same point. These are the two theorems of moment of inertia. Before I go forward, let me ask you, what do you think is the unit of moment of inertia? Unit is now meter raised to power 4. Unit in this case is kilogram meter square, ml square, kilogram meter square, and this is the second moment of area. This is how we use and calculate this. Now, without wasting much time, can I ask you some questions or give you some question? Let me give you some question here. The kind of question you can expect in HPCL. Centroid, normally you know public sector में centroid और center of gravity वो same ही use करता है. So centroid for three-dimensional body is called center of mass or center of gravity. Remember that. Now the centroid of an isosceles triangle. You know what is isosceles triangle? The triangle with two sides equal is called isosceles triangle, and the triangle with three sides equal is called equilateral triangle. Okay, the centroid of isosceles triangle with base, let us say P, and side Q from base is. Now he has given you answer choices. Let me not give you answer choices, but he's saying there is a now isosceles triangle with some side and base. So let us take now, this is the base P and this is side Q, and you remember that if this is the isosceles triangle, then this angle and this angle are going to be same. So this angle is going to be equal to this angle. Okay, done. Now let me drop this angle here. Right now this angle is going to be 90 degree because it divides the base, because this side and this sides are equal. So if you draw here the median that divides, that basically is 90 degree on the base. Okay, done. So let's call it A, let's call it B, let's call it C, and let's call it D, and this length is P. Okay, can you tell me what is the length AD? What is length AD? Okay, now this is Q, this is P by 2, and this is AD. Why do we need now AD? I tell you the reason for that, but first you find out what is AD. Let's call it H. So H square plus P square by 4 is equal to Q square. Pythagoras theorem, agree? Can you tell me what is H? q square minus p square by 4 under root. Can you tell me further? 4q square minus p square under root by 2. That is the value of h. Now, if I want to find out the centroid, then can you tell me this now? If total height is h, this is h by 3. 2h by 3, h by 3, that concept. So, what is the question? From base. So, from base, h by 3. From base, it will be h by 3. That means, if you take h by 3, it comes out to be 1 by 6, 4q square minus p square under root. 4q square minus p square under root by 6. That was the answer. I hope this is clear to you. That was the question. So typically you can expect these kind of question in the exam. Now let me go for next question. Let me give you this question now, and I'm very sure you're going to answer this. Okay, center of gravity, centroid. He used this term center of gravity also. Centroid of equilateral triangle. Centroid of equilateral triangle with side A. With side A from any side. From any side is. Choices given are root 3a by 2. Next choice is 2 by root 3a. Third choice is a by 2 root 3. Choice D, 3 root 2a. These are the 4 choices given. Okay, now how you will solve this question? Now sir, let me give you equilateral triangle first. Any idea what are each angles? Yes sir, each angle is 60, and if I drop, this is 90 degree. A by 2, A by 2, A. Can you tell me what is H now? Yes sir, H looks like what? H looks like a square minus a square by 4 under root. From where I got it? Pythagoras theorem. H square plus a square by 4 is equal to a square. Pythagoras theorem. H square perpendicular plus base square, a square by 4 is equal to a square. So H comes out to be root 3 by 2 into a. Am I right in this? If you take it, 4a square minus a square, 3a square by 4, root 3 by 2. And where is the centroid now? From one of the sides, where is centroid? So this is what? H by 3. This is h by 3. So from base, this is h by 3. So root 3a by 2 into 3. This is a over 2 root 3. Which answer is this? A by 2 root 3. Right? I think you got this answer. Okay. Let me ask you this question now. Circular hole of 50 millimeter dia. Circular hole of 50 millimeter dia is cut from a circular disc. Is cut from a circular disc of 100 millimeter dia. Center of gravity क्या है? Centroid, I think you should ask. Centroid of the section. Centroid of the section will lie, choices are in shaded region, in the shaded region, then in the whole, in whole or non-shaded region, then at O, then none of these, none of these, none of these. So what is the question? This is the question given to us. There is a basically now there's a circular hole of 50 millimeter dia cut from 100 millimeter. So this radius is 50 millimeter and this is also 50 millimeter. Tell me, where do you think will be center of this particular entire geometry? Centroid kahan pe hoga? So centroid will be, you know what? It will be somewhere here. Centroid, it will be somewhere here. That is for sure. G will be somewhere here. Why? Because there is no area. There is no area. No area here. It is a cut part. And if it is a cut part, then the area, center of the area shifts to this side. And the center of area or centroid is always on, this is a geometrical center, it is always on the line of symmetry. So where is the line of symmetry? This is the line of symmetry. This is the line of symmetry. This is the line of symmetry. Agree or not? So this one is line of symmetry. And even if I give you another shape, right? If I give you another shape, like suppose I give you this shape and this is the cut part, right? This is the cut part. And I ask you as a technocrat, tell me where will the center of this particular shape. This is the center of basically the larger circle. Center of larger circle is this. Can you tell me where is the line of symmetry? Yes, sir. This one is the line of symmetry. This is called line of symmetry. This is the line of symmetry. Agree or not? This is the line of symmetry. So in the previous question, this is in the shaded region. That is answer. Line of symmetry कहाँ है? ये है. अभी लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री में कहां पे लाई करेगा सेंट्रॉइड? यहां पे लाई करेगा. सेंट्रॉइड विल बी लाइंग समवेयर हियर. ओके, लेट मी गिव यू अनदर क्वेश्चन. लेट मी गिव यू भाई टी सेक्शन. लेट मी गिव यू टी सेक्शन. बताओ सेंट्रॉइड कहां पे होगा? दिस इज द सिमेट्रिक टी सेक्शन, राइट? कहां पे होगा सेंट्रॉइड? पहले तो लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री बताओ. ओके सर, लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री लुक्स लाइक दिस. दिस इज द लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री. ओके, इसी पे कहीं होगा, लेकिन ये हॉलो है, ये हॉलो है, तो समवेयर इसकी तरफ को होगा. दिस इज द सेंट्रॉइड. एग्री और नॉट? यस, एग्री सर, पॉजिटिवली. ओके, ठीक है. अब मेरे को इसका बताओ. टेल मी नाउ this flange I am giving you now. I am giving you the symmetric flange. This is called flange. Civil engineers know I may not be using proper word. गर्डर और फ्लैंज है. बता सकते हो सिमेट्री? एक्सिस सिमेट्री कौन सी है? मैंने सिमेट्रिक बनाया है सारा. तो सर एक्सिस सिमेट्री तो ये है. अब इसका तो बहुत ही आसानी से बता सकते हैं. दिस इज द सेंट्रॉइड. ओके, लास्ट शेप आई एम गिविंग यू. लास्ट शेप. अब इसका बताओ कहां पे होगा? कैन यू टेल मी नाउ वेयर इज द लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री? वेयर इज द लाइन ऑफ सिमेट्री? Okay, sir, line of symmetry looks like here. Line of symmetry looks like here. So centroid will be somewhere here only, but larger mass is this side. So if this is the center, centroid will be somewhere here, right? So this is how you need to make some idea, some guesswork you are to make to find out where will be center of this. Okay, so should I go for next question for you? Okay, let me ask you next question now. This is my next question to you. Moment of inertia of square. Moment of inertia of square of side A about an axis through its center of gravity, through its centroid, let's say not center of gravity, is, answer choice is a square by 4, then answer choice a की 4 by 8, then a raised to power 4 by 12, then a raised to power 4 by 36. You see, public sector questions, you can expect even dimensionally incorrect sometimes answer choices. So this answer choice is dimensionally incorrect. It is not meter square, it is meter raised to power 4. It cannot be meter square. So moment of inertia of square of side A about an axis through center of basically gravity. Right? Should I give you another question? Okay. This question, and you solve both these questions together then. Right? Moment of inertia of square, moment of inertia of square of side A about base is, answer choice is a raised to power 4 by 3, a raised to power 4 by 2, a raised to power 4 by 6, a raised to power 4 by 8. Answer this question. Moment of inertia of the square about axis through its center of gravity or centroid and through base. What is the question? What is the question? Question is this. Very simple question. देखो अगर मैं तुम्हें रेक्टेंगल दे देता, दिस इज द सेंट्रॉइड ऑफ रेक्टेंगल बी डी, देन दिस इज बी डी क्यूब बाई 12. नाउ स्क्वायर के केस में b इज इक्वल टू d इज इक्वल टू a. दिस इज द केस ऑफ स्क्वायर. So if I put that, then moment of inertia of a square of side A about axis through centroid is equal to a into a cube by 12. So a raised to power 4 by 12. You will say, sir, kya mazak kar rahe ho? So easy question you are asking. But you know what? I cannot ask difficult question, more difficult question, because easy question come. Airport Authority of India mein, you know, the only negative which has come for your PDA is the degree of difficulty of question was little higher in your PDA for physics questions. Why? Because I could not reduce my degree of difficulty thinking कि यार तुम हंसोगे कितना आसान क्वेश्चन दे दिया. That was the reason. Otherwise e-book में से out of 30 I think 27 questions were directly from e-book. Similarly this HPCL में questions you are going to get it, but you need to be clear. Okay, about the base. Now question is this. This is the question. Square IG is a raised to power 4 by 12. But I want to find out Ix, which is Ig plus area into parallel distance. How much is that? A by 2. A by 2 whole square. And what is area? What is area? A square. So this is Ix is A4 raised to power 12. Sorry, divided by 12. A4 by 4. This comes out to be a4 by 3. So a raised to power 4 by 3 is the answer for that. Right? Can you answer this question now? Can I ask you this question? Moment of inertia of square of side A about one of its, I think what is the question? Diagonal. One of its diagonal is, what is answer choice given? A square by 8. And what is the second answer? A cube by 12. And what is the third? A raised to 4 by 12. And what is the fourth? A 4 raised to power A raised to power 4 by 16. What is answer? So this is the question now. This is the square and is asking you what is the moment of inertia of this square about the base, right? What is this side? A. What is this side? A. Let's call it A, B, C, D. Can I write it like this? Think of, this is A, this is B, this is D. Side A, side A, and I want to find out moment of inertia of this triangle, isosceles triangle. And how much is this? If this is A, this is A, this is root of 2A. Do we agree? Root of 2A. This is root of 2A. Good. Now go back and tell me what is the moment of inertia of a triangle about base. What is the height of this? What is the height of this? Sir, height of this is this. Half of diagonal. So A by root 2. So root 2 by A divided by 2 is A by root 2. So this is that height, right? Because half of the diagonal is the height. You understand? This diagonal and this diagonal are of equal length. So this particular length is half of the diagonal. So this is A by root 2. Okay. What is the moment of inertia of triangle about base? BH cube by 12, if I'm not wrong. B is base, H is the height over 12. Go back and see what we've written. If I'm not wrong, I think we were defining this. No. Okay. BH cube by 12. Moment of inertia of triangle about base. Right? Now, what is B? Root 2A. What is H? A by root 2. BH cube by 12. Okay. How much is this? A raised to power 4 divided by this root 2 cube. 1 root 2 gets cancelled. This is root 2 square is 2. This is 24. But you know what? In this particular case about diagonal, moment of inertia of this triangle about this axis is this. But then there is another triangle. DCB. Uska moment of inertia about this diagonal is also same. So total moment of inertia is to be added. So total moment of inertia about diagonal is A raised to power 4 by 12. Is there any answer? Yes. A raised to power 4 by 12. Now let me give you last question here, and this last question is as assignment for you. Let's see whether you can hit it. I give you this assignment. Okay, so moment of inertia of a rectangular section of 3 centimeter wide, a rectangular section which is 3 centimeter wide and 4 centimeter deep about x axis is, so what is the answer choice? 9 centimeter raised to power 4, 12 centimeter raised to power 4, 16 centimeter raised to power 4, 20 centimeter raised to power 4. What is the answer for that? So why any assignment is to be given to you? You should not be given any assignment. So let me solve it. 4 centimeter. This is 4 centimeter. This is 3 centimeter. And is asking you about moment of inertia about this axis. Right? Can you tell me about this? BD cube by 12. Can you tell me what is this? 2 centimeter. So can you tell me area? Yes, area is 12. So can you tell me about this? 3, 4 cube by 12 plus area is 12 into square of this. So how much is that now? What is this area coming? So 416 plus, okay, 48. How much is that? 64. No. How much is can be this? About base x-axis. BDQ by 12. BDQ by 12. 16 is this. And then how much is this? Area is 12. 12 into 4. Okay, I don't know where is not answer coming. Okay, anyhow, then you find it out, and here we come to an end of this. I think answer choices which I have written. It may be possible I have not noted down the proper answer choices. Anyhow, this is the concept. So just revise this. I'm going to give you lot of questions, and in HPCL exam mein questions are going to come from the same point which I told you. From there only it is going to come. Revise it. Then later on don't tell me like Airport Authority of India कि सर मैंने एयरपोर्ट ऑपरेशन में मेरे 24 में से I could only score 15 or 12. Don't do that. Cutthroat competition is there. You cannot miss even a single question if you want to get a really good job. Revise it very well. We'll keep on giving you this lecture I'm sending to you. Take it, and many more questions I'm sending you for practice. Thank you.